The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Conflicting reports, because of course, the Jets might have a new GM, but they haven't told the candidates yet who it is. We'll talk about who I think it is and where things stand. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
Number one, we play with maximum effort. There's 3 elements of effort. Got burst, speed, and finish. If I don't see one of those, man, you're a traitor. Go play for somebody else. Win, lose, or draw. The one thing you're going to say about our defense, using the fight. That's an ass kicker.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Does anyone want to be named Jets GM? I mean, anyone? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Happy Football Friday. Click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have an exciting announcement I want to make before we get into the latest on the Jets GM. Winter merch drop, baby. For the first time, we have quarter zips with the Jake Asman logo, with the Asmaniac logo. These are Adidas quarter zips available at jakeasman.com. We also have beautiful looking long sleeve t-shirts with my logo on it and the Asmaniac logo on the back and the Asmaniac logo on a long sleeve shirt. Plus every winter hat in every style you could imagine. Go check it out, folks. jakeasman.com, Patreon users 20% off. It is our winter merch drop. jakeasman.com. It's linked in the description box. All right. So during my first stream today, Josina Anderson tweeted this. Breaking, high-level source tells me Denver Broncos assistant GM Darren Moogie is getting the Jets GM job. No one confirmed this report. No one. Not Schefter, not Rappaport, not Glazer, nobody. Finally, the Jet beat reporters probably getting some information from the team to dispel this initial report from Josina Anderson. Zach Rosenblatt tweets, the Jets have not yet informed any GM finalists about whether they have or have not gotten the job yet. Doesn't mean they don't know who will ultimately get the job, but there hasn't been an offer yet. And this was at 12:41 p.m. Eastern. Right now it's 5:22 p.m. Eastern time, and there's been no news since. So we have what I like to call an old-fashioned source-off, baby. Darren Moogie might be the GM. He might not be the GM. Josina's saying he's the guy. Everyone else is saying not so fast, not yet. Now, if I had to guess, I still would probably bet on Moogie being the GM. I don't think Josina just made this up. But she doesn't bat 1,000, which is why anyone who watched my first show today when this happened live, I wasn't gung-ho on breaking it all down immediately. Because while I do think it is going to be Moogie, I don't think it is a lock. And I will say this, if it is indeed Moogie at, as the team's GM, to quote Horton, Moogie, Moogie, Moogie rocking everywhere will definitely be an anthem we need Gator to probably put together on a side note. But I have no idea when we're going to get an announcement. If we're going to get an announcement, it could be 1 minute from right now. It could be not at all today. It could be right when I end this stream after an hour and a half and go to my dinner and then all of a sudden cancel my dinner because we're going live again. I don't know. But as of now, there is nothing new in regards to the Jets GM opening. I think it's fair to say the report that came out this morning that it's down to Moogie and Trey Brown, that's accurate. Because it's not like we've heard about any other general manager interviews being scheduled with the Jets. We know they have Aaron Glenn. We know his presser's on Monday. So I'd imagine they want to have the GM in place before the press conference so they could do it together. So I do think it's down to Moogie and Trey Brown. I think that's probably accurate. But we have an old-fashioned source-off right now. Josina saying it's done. Jet beat reporters saying not so fast. It could be Moogie. It could not be. Now, I personally would prefer Trey Brown, but I'm also not going to sit here and be upset if it ends up being Moogie. Ultimately, Aaron Glenn is in on this decision. It's his choice. I know we could say, oh, it's Woody, can't trust him, but I think Aaron Glenn's the one who's ultimately deciding this, because if he says, I don't want to work with Moogie, they wouldn't hire him. We could debate if that's the right move or not, but, one thing's for sure. I think Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 made this point today on the panel I was on, the AFC East Jets panel today. I'd rather Glenn pick the GM than Woody, for being honest. Now, personally, I like to have the GM hire first, then the coach, but it can work this way because they're making Aaron Glenn the face of the organization. He's the front guy. He's Pete Carroll in Seattle. He's Shanahan in San Fran. He's Harbaugh with the Chargers. You just don't typically see it from a first-year coach. But Aaron Glenn's not your typical first-year coach because most of them don't have the scouting background he has, and that's why I think the Jets identified Glenn as their guy. They want him, and they think they could find a good candidate to work with Aaron Glenn. And Glenn's voice is obviously going to be instrumental in this. I will read you a breakdown on Trey Brown that I received from someone that has worked with Trey Brown in the past. That's all I'm going to say. Trey Brown checks all the boxes and will surround himself with experience, great guy, high-level listener, and consensus team builder. I don't know anyone who's worked with Darren Moogie, so I couldn't text anyone on him. What you hear about Moogie, as I pull up his scouting report here, hold on. What you hear about Moogie is that he's 6'6". You don't hear about that. You see it. But he has a presence about him. This is from a scouting report that The Athletic shared earlier. Skilled at relationship building, dealing with ownership, building a staff, background in both college and pro scouting, worked his way up the ladder. He was a quarterback in college. Similar personality-wise to Kevin O'Connell. They were roommates in college. 39 years old, so he's a young guy. Been in Denver for a long time. George Payton, the Broncos GM, promoted him upon arriving. Has a good relationship with Sean Payton, who's now in total control in Denver. Works closely and well with Payton and is one of and obviously Sean Payton is one of Aaron Glenn's mentors in coaching. So you're not hiring Moogie if it ends up being him, unless Sean Payton is on board, giving his seal of approval to his protege, Aaron Glenn. But right now, we're in a source-off, folks. Moogie expected to get the job, according to Josina. Other reports, like this one from Rosenblatt, stating, not so fast, not a done deal just yet. Now, I can tell you this, because I did some digging on this myself. As far as Aaron Glenn's coaching staff, I'm willing to say I would be very surprised if the Jets don't end up hiring Nick Caley from the Rams as their OC. It's not done yet, but talking to someone in the know, I would be very surprised if Nick Caley is not the Jets OC. There was some thought, well, wait a second. Caley's going to go to the Jets. Now with Houston needing an offensive coordinator and work with C.J. Stroud, Caley's going to go to the Jets over going to work with Baker Mayfield down in Tampa. Last two OCs there have been head coaches and Dave Canales and Liam Cohen. I don't know what Aaron Glenn did to get Caley here. I don't know what he said. I don't know if Woody is writing a very expensive check to a first-time OC. But I personally think it would be an upset at this point if Nick Caley's not the next GM of the Jets from what I've heard. Now, I'm not a reporter, but when I do hear things, I do share it. So that's what I've heard. And I like Nick Caley. I was in on him. I was in on Clint Kubiak. The more you read about Caley, though, someone described talking to Nick Caley as talking to mini Sean McVay. And I heard that, I'm sold. Right now, Nick Caley is the Rams pass game coordinator and tight end coach. He'll run a modern offensive scheme. I think this would be a great hire by the Jets if Glenn could pull this off. I don't know if it's going to be announced today. Probably not. Maybe they wait for the GM hire first, but I think we'll get some coaching news maybe over the weekend. But Nick Haley, I think, would be a very good choice by Aaron Glenn. So I'm in. That's what I've heard on the OC hire. And, everything you hear about the DC hire, this is not me reporting this. This is just what's out there. Steve Wilkes apparently is the favorite. So if you have Steve Wilkes as the DC, guy's been a head coach before. He can handle the defense for Glenn. And Caley getting a chance to be the OC. I think it's a good start to your staff. Could we get Darren Rizzi to be the special teams coordinator? Him and Aaron Glenn know each other, obviously, from New Orleans. Rizzi, New Jersey guy, interviewed for the head coaching opening. Was the interim head coach for the Saints. I'd be good on that. Now, I'm already seeing a couple comments. Well, Caley would be a first-time OC. That's true, but if you're going to bet on someone from the McVay tree. That would be my thought on that. I'm willing to roll the dice on a first-time OC if it's Sean McVay's guy. And I don't know how many people saw what Sean McVay said yesterday, but I mean, his review on Caley speaks for itself. So I'm in on Caley. Robert Mays, senior reporter for The Athletic, he said this about Nick Caley. When you leave a conversation with Nick, it's like leaving a conversation with Sean McVay. You watch this guy's press conferences, he's a Sean McVay clone. So that's my hope. Now, a lot of people think, oh, why would Caley choose the Jets? I wondered that too, but I'm just telling you, I've heard this is going to get done. So I hope that happens. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. Make sure you submit them. Also want to let everyone know the Asmaniac raffle, right? It's coming up, baby. Grand prize includes a signed Garrett Wilson jersey. Sorry, the image is small, but I have them all in one spot. A signed Joe Klecko jersey. A Joe Willie Namath replica Super Bowl III ring. A signed Aaron Glenn card. A signed Breece Hall jersey patch card. And a Gusbuster umbrella. So, gift memberships if you want in on the raffle. The raffle will be Tuesday of this upcoming week. Sam with a super chat. He cuts the line. Just sick of the folks that want another cap guy. Isaac, how many cap guys are successful drafters? I mean, I like the fact that Moogie, if it's him, or Brown, if it's him, are scouts in their nature. I'd rather have my GM be that guy. To answer your question, though, Sam, Howie Roseman would be the best example of a cap guy who learned football, learned analytics, hired good pro scouts and college scouts, and is able to basically gather information and then make a decision. Because that's really what it is, right? Gather information and make a decision and be able to problem solve. I don't think Joe Douglas problem solved very well. I think he sat there and did nothing, in fact. No backup quarterback in 2023. No kicker this year. Not enough depth going into last year on the O-line. I think Joe Douglas was good at picking talent and didn't do some of the other stuff you got to do well. The best GMs can problem solve, troubleshoot, figure out things on the fly. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Shout out to the Patreon crew. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join the Patreon, and you'll get your name added to the intro. You'll get bonus shows that are not on YouTube every month. Access to our private Discord channel. 20% off all merch items, including our brand new winter merch items, the quarter zips, the hoodies, the long sleeves, the winter hats, all that. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Big thank you to Tim from Fishland, Gangrene Goliath, Bill M, Will 2012, Harlan, Papa Jet, and Mimosa for being our most recent Patreon subscribers. All right. Let's get to some of your calls. Nick writes in that there's 550 people watching and only 109 likes. So please hit the like button. Thank you, Nick. By the way, for those of you who have Sirius XM, I'm doing extra radio this weekend. 4 to 8 tomorrow, you'll hear me nationally on Mad Dog Sports Radio. And then on Sunday, after the Ranger game, so probably around 4:15 when the postgame show ends, 4:15 to 8 p.m., I'll be on during the NFC and the AFC championship game. I'll talk about those games in progress and the Jets GM and Aaron Glenn reaction on the air. So get ready. Dante says, TBH, I was hoping for Dimitrov. Me too. Thomas Dimitrov would have been my pick. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I'm hoping that one of the Spielmans can stick around and help the Jets. That's what I'm hoping to see. Just to get some more experience in there. I mean, Rick Spielman's been a GM twice. Is he interested in being the director of football ops for the Jets? I hope. Hennessy says, how about we don't win the offseason and we win games? Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I don't know what that's like, Hennessy. This team hasn't won more than 7 games in a decade. Bo with a super chat. It's clear that we're looking for a modern look and feel. I just wish we could sprinkle a little bit of experience in the equation. Completely agree. I mean, I didn't want first-timers. They're hiring first-timers. I don't think there's any other finalists for the GM job besides Moogie and Trey Brown. And anyone else find it just bizarre what happened to Lance Newmark? It was like his job, and then nope. See you later, Lance. So I want to know what happened there. What happened to this Lance Newmark guy? 1 second, he's the favorite with Glenn. They're going to work together. Another second, Lance Newmark is gone. See ya. So I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, King and Dreams is here, and he's making dreams for people in the chat. 5 people just got channel memberships from our King. Let's go.
Money, 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 money.
K&D in for 5. MK, West Hartford, Roy Spence, Sergeant CVO, and Brian Alcantara all receiving memberships. That's 5 raffle entries for K&D as well. All right, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Did I forget to pin the hotline link? No, I did. Why? How come no one's calling in? What is this? What is this? Call into the show, people. Open phone lines. Let's hear from the people. Dave says, how close are we to having things leak? I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't yet. This Josina Anderson tweet was at what time? You can't see it below, but it was definitely before 1 p.m. today. And then Rosenblatt clarified at 12:41. So, yeah, so Josina probably tweeted that at like noon. And then Rosenblatt said, not yet. And the other guys on the beat said that, which means the Jets put it out there to say, hey, can you let everyone know it's not true? We haven't decided anything yet. And then now it's 5:37 Eastern and there's nothing. I started the show at 5 today instead of the normal 4 p.m. start time because I was hoping we'd get some clarity by then, but nothing. So what will happen is whenever I end the show, that will be the second they make the hire and I'll cancel my dinner plans. Happens all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts is making it explode in the chat right now. All right. I'm just going to be blunt. It's a D's Nuts explosion, and you better be on board. D's
Nuts. Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Raffle entries for Mike D's Nuts, who won the Joe Klecko jersey. And now, Mike said yesterday his goal was the Garrett Wilson one. Dave from New Brunswick, Chris Zeigler, Jazzy, JT Dodd, and Sauce all receiving channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an old-fashioned gifting membership off. Forget a source off between Josina and the Jets beat. How about a gifted membership off? K&D in for another 5, baby.
Money, 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 money.
Here we go. The following 5 people are now channel members. Vince DiDonna, Scully, Sebastian Score, KFP, Regan Darcy, all receiving channel memberships. That's 15 gifted memberships, 15 raffle tickets added so far. Let's get to more of your calls. Billy, You start us off today. Hello, Billy.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? I just got a little quick video for Beast. Just hang in with me.
Come
It's
on.
17 seconds. No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
No. Enough. You guys antagonize Beast Breaker, then it gets out of hand, and I don't feel like dealing with that right now. All right? Stop it. Hamburger's up next. What's up, Hamburger?
Yo, what's up, Jake? I figured I'd call in since you said you had nobody calling. I was on my way to go get my kids and stuff, so I didn't really want to call while I was driving. Oh, Gabrielle says hello.
Hello, Gabrielle.
Hello.
So, listen, Jake, I think you hit it all right. It's a bunch of unknowns with a bunch of new guys again. I said the other day, I'm not going to rant about it anymore. I said my piece. I said my frustration, but listen, man, I just hope at this point they choose the right people and we go on and we move on and we win some games, because at this point now, I'm not going to let myself get all hyped up about anybody at this point. You know what I mean? This year I want to wait until the season starts and see what we have before I start getting excited and pumped up. Of course, I'll be excited for the start of the football season, but I'm not going to allow myself to get like last year and the year before. I don't think I could put that through my family through that and myself through that, being miserable. And so, but with that being said, tomorrow, me and the kids and everybody are going to Mets Amazing Day, which should be pretty awesome. So we get to meet a lot of players, and they got some activities for the kids and some batting cages.
Say hi to Beningo. He'll be there.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
He told us on the show yesterday. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm with you. I mean, look, they got to go out there and they got to win games before people are going to buy back in. I get why fans are excited and optimistic. Aaron Glenn is likable. He was a great Jet, but, they got to win games. I mean, that's really the bottom line. And, I love all the people trying to pretend like, oh, Robert Saleh is so radically different than Aaron Glenn and vice versa. Like, it's a very similar hire. They're different people, and it doesn't mean that because one failed, this will fail. But, I think you'd be lying to yourself if you're going to try and sit here and be like, oh, no, Aaron Glenn is completely different than Saleh. We'll see. We'll see. Robert Saleh was supposed to be everything we're now talking about Aaron Glenn being able to do. Hopefully Aaron Glenn can actually do it, though.
Yep, I know. I remember it well, man. There's a lot of similarities with the hire. Yeah, they have different paths on the way they got where they were, but they're both defensive-minded guys. It's kind of the same situation, the same chatter. Everybody's excited, pumped up. This is the guy. This guy told me that he's the best, and this name is saying he's the greatest. So for me, it's just let's prove it. Let's do it. Let's see how preseason starts. Let's see how training camp is. Let's see the moves that they make. Let's see what they do in the draft. It's just there's a lot to prove before I buy into really anything yet. But, I hope they do the right thing. I hope we're not sitting in misery for the next 10 years. But with that being said, man, I hope everybody has an awesome weekend. I hope everybody has a nice Friday night and enjoy it. Be safe. And, Jake, I appreciate you always having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Hamburger, good call, man. Have fun at that Met Fan Fest tomorrow. That's awesome. We got memberships exploding. I mean, this is unreal what's happening right now, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Bo C is getting in the mix. He's dropping a 5 spot of channel memberships, baby. Boom. But that's not all. Back with more is Mike D's Nuts with a 10 spot. Whoa. Mike D's Nuts coming through for the people again, because that's what he does. And he wants to win a prize. Who doesn't? Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for D's Nuts. D's Nuts. That's 10 for Mike, and then another 5 for Bo. Bo getting in on the membership face-off. Oh, baby.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
All right, I don't feel like reading like 25 names right now. I want to keep the show going. So if you got one, thank either Mike, Bo, or K&D. They're the ones making it happen. They're getting all the raffle entries. Let's continue with your calls right now. Let's say hello to PBM. What's up, Mike?
Yo, what's going on? Wouldn't be a Jets day without leaks and stuff not being right and whatever. It's mid-season form right now in the off-season.
It's just annoying, right? Like Josina Anderson, who's gotten, I think, everything else right to this point. This is the one thing that's going to be, like, I'm not saying she's wrong, but this is the one thing that's not done, and we're just sitting around waiting all day. It's annoying.
And I hyped myself up that off Maui off. I hyped myself up because I'm like, oh, he drafted Bo Nix. He knows what he's doing. He's got good drafts and whatever. And then,
He didn't draft Bo Nix, though.
but he was involved. He was involved.
Sean Payton is making that decision as the offensive guy that he is. Darren Moogie deserves no credit for Bo Nix.
You don't think that he was involved at all?
Yeah, he sat in the draft room and watched Sean Payton make the pick.
I don't know. I think he had a hand in it.
No, stop it. He had no.
But-
What hand did he have in it?
He was assistant GM, right? Isn't that what his position?
And Sean Payton is the head coach who has the power over the actual GM and George Payton. This guy would be like the number 3 or 4 in the chain of command.
To say that he had no input is kind of crazy, dude. He had to have some input. He had to do at least
Come on,
scouting
man.
him
It's
or
Sean
something, like-
Payton. It's Sean Payton's decision. He's the quarterback guy.
I don't know.
Okay,
maybe
so
I'll
if we're gonna give Moogie credit for Bo Nix, then let's give him credit for hiring Nathaniel Hackett as head coach. We're gonna play that game too.
I'm not saying that he deserves all the credit. I'm saying he had to have at least done some of the scouting and something and said,
Maybe he picked up the phone for Sean Payton so he didn't have to waste any energy reaching for it to submit the pick.
It's crazy how this season has just brought us down. It really has.
I want Mike. I want to be positive
here to be positive,
dude. This guy might be awesome, Mike. But let's be real. If you're gonna try and give him credit for Bo Nix, that's insane.
I don't know. I'm trying to get myself ready that we're gonna be good, man. I'm tired of losing. I'm trying to grasp at anything I can to be.
They
positive,
might be, but it's not going to be because Darren Moogie had anything to do with Bo Nix. I'm sorry.
Maybe he's gonna be the one that gets Jackson Dart, baby. Let's go.
All right, now here's what I'll have you do, Mike. If you want to be positive,
Yeah.
give me your best rendition of Moogie 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 rocking everywhere.
Moogie, 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 rocking everywhere. Moogie, 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 rocking everywhere. Moogie, 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 rocking everywhere. How's
Mike,
that?
There you go. All right. Now that was good. All right. The chat will give it up for PBM for that. I love that.
Let's try and be. Let's do our thing. Let's win the.
I'll give this guy a
offseason
chance.
and then
I want to
win
make it
some
clear.
games.
I'm not trying to dunk on this guy before he even has the job, if he has the job. But if we're gonna give him credit for Bo Nix, then I'm gonna say, okay, what about Hackett? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what he does. He's an assistant GM and he has no power over the head coach and the actual GM. But guys rave about him, and we'll find out how good he actually is if he gets the job.
Yeah, I just hoping for the best. I can't do another shit season. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Come on, football gods, spare the Jets. Spare us, please, for we've sinned, and it's time for redemption. Come on.
The Glennaissance era, Mike. It's happening. Billy wrote in, Jake, the chat wants to see the video. Billy, if you promise me this video is appropriate, call back later and I'll play it. I just didn't want to antagonize Beastbreaker right away. We got things to discuss. You people complain when I put them on. Then when I don't, this happens. I can't win around here. All right? But anyway, back to your calls in a moment. But first, how about more from Bo C? Bo C, you win the lottery?
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Another 5 from Bo. I can't even get the list of names. So you know what? These last 5 I think I have. Raphael Cotto, Eric Craig, Jiggy J, Slick with the Kicks, Blake Carson, Eric Craig all got Bo's memberships there. All right. Back on track here. Let's keep going with your calls. Say hello to Brian, who is up next on the hotline. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Jake. What's up, Jet fans out there? I'm excited.
You're no longer Coach Olbrich. Very sad.
I'm not. I'm no longer Coach Olbrich. I could be former Coach Olbrich, and I can give you the insight on Atlanta next year.
That's okay, Coach. We'll start calling you Brian from now on.
I'm down with that. You can call me whatever you want. I won't get offended. So here's my thought. I'm excited that they're going to announce a GM and then a coaching staff soon. We all are. I mean, it's exciting. I'm thinking the number one thing isn't necessarily what to do with Aaron Rodgers. It's lock up the core. Lock up 1 or 2 of our young players. It's a culture builder. It's a show the team that if you work hard, you get paid, you stay here. For too many years, we locked up either the wrong person or we let somebody go. I get upset every time I see Demario Davis make a tackle and he only makes 150 a year. There's a lot of things that I watch in the NFL and I think, boy, I'd love to pay that guy. I'd love to overpay that guy to stay. We used to overpay people just to come to the Jets. Why not just pay him now? and lock them up, build the team around it. If it means there's a trade-off and we can't keep Devontae or Rodgers or whatever, fine. I'm not asking for losses, and I realize Rodgers gives us the best chance in 25. However, there's trade-offs. And I don't care what any of that stuff is if we don't lock up our core. It starts with locking them up. I think it's a culture team building thing. I don't care if the guy's tall or short or experienced or not. It's time for them to hand out contracts. I'm ready. I love the Michael Carter extension during the year. I would have loved for them to have locked up Sherwood. I made that known on in this show before. I like homegrown guys. We don't have enough of them.
I get it. I think the first thing a new GM should do is extend Garrett Wilson. So I'm right there with you, Brian. These guys are on the path to be extended. I think the only one you have to do right away that I would do is Wilson, because Sauce is coming off a down year for his standards. Let's see what he's like with Glenn for a year. Jermaine's coming off injury, and Brees is a running back, so I don't know if you have to do anything there just yet. But Garrett, to me, is a no-brainer that he should be extended immediately after this guy gets put into place.
I'm right there with you in that order as well. There was a moment where I thought if they had me pick which of those four I'd trade for a draft pick, I hate to say it, but it's Brees. And I don't hate to say it. I should say this again. Compared to the other three, Brees is the one that you can get an asset for. He's on a rookie deal, and we've got two guys lined up. And I wouldn't
trade him though. Like, what are you getting for Brees Hall that you think would be worthy of even trading him?
That's a great question. If there's a late second or an early third round pick and it's the D tackle that we need to stop the run,
I wouldn't do it. I'm not doing it because I think especially depending who the quarterback is, Brees Hall could be such a focal point of this offense finally and used the right way. I don't think Brees has been used the right way the last couple of years. There was not one game this year where Brees had the ball 20 times. That's crazy to me. Look at Saquon Barkley. Brees Hall can't play like that. I'm not saying he's gonna be Barkley, but like Brees Hall can't have that type of impact on an offense if he's used properly. I'm not saying you got to extend Brees, but unless I'm getting a first round pick, like I'm not trading him. I think Brees is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the war of memberships between Mike D's Nuts and Bo C continues. 10 more have been added. Mike D's Nuts versus Bo C. Who's going to gift more? D's Nuts. Whoa, baby. Oh, what happened to my video? What is this? Where's my money? Where are you, Tom Cruise?
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
Shout out to Jerry Maguire. 10 names. Can I get them here? The YouTube chat has been a pain in the rear this show. All right, here we go. Jerry the Jet, Udell, Yosef, Peter Papalazgu, Brett, Jets family. Those are the first 5 from Mike. Here are the 5 from Bo, Jalen Brunson fan, good name, Uncoachable, Sam Jones, Ed Salmon, Carlo G. Those are the next 5. Great. All right, more of your calls coming up. First, a super chat from Big Fella. He says first we need to re-sign Sherwood. He's up. Agreed. Yes, I would bring back Jamie and Sherwood as well. You're going to defer to Aaron Glenn on that as the coach too. JR Jet in the house. JR will be joining us at the Asmaniac Knicks game in March. A good point was made by someone at the Fan of all places. The Jet thing to do would have been to avoid hiring Glenn for nothing more to prove that they're not doing the same old thing. I agree. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of issues with hiring Glenn first. I don't. My issue is more so the lack of experienced coaches they interviewed. Specifically Mike McCarthy and Pete Carroll. And just going with another first-timer. I hope Aaron Glenn's awesome. I just would feel more comfortable if the head coach had experience. And if the head coach is not going to have experience, if you're going to go with Aaron Glenn, why not pair him up with Thomas Dimitroff or Brian Gain? That would have made sense to me. But, Jets felt differently. I hope they're right. Here for the memes with a super chat. Thank you, Jake, for giving everyone a great set of shows daily. Thank you to the Asmaniacs for being a great community. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, memes. Appreciate that. And for those tuning in late, winter merch drop. We have brand new hats, all right, in every style. We have Asmaniac and Jake Asman Show long sleeve shirts, Adidas pullover quarter zips that say Jake Asman Show or Asmaniac on them. So check it out, jakeasman.com. If you hit the winter merch tab when you go to the merch store at jakeasman.com, you'll see all the items listed out there for you. All right. Dave says, can you play the Sexy Rexy video? For $2, Dave? Come on. I have some pride. All right. $2? Rick Kent said he'd quit the show if he saw that thing again. $5 probably, but $2? Come on. I'm just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. More of your calls. All right, Billy, this better be good, man. What do you got?
It's fine, man. It's fine. Just give me 17 seconds. That's it, man. I just want to show my passion of martial arts.
Now look what. That's what I want to do, but I'll let the chat decide if we should send him to the hole. I mean that was horrendous. I'm sorry, Billy. I appreciate you. That was terrible, right? Am I wrong? I'm not trying to be mean here, but that was what was that? Billy, come on. That's what you had to show? You interrupted the show for that? Now, I'm not going to send him to the hole because Billy's a good dude. But I'll let the chat decide if we should send him to the hole. Either someone could gift 10 memberships or send a $50 super chat, or we'll just run it up a poll, and over the course of 5 minutes, we'll let the audience decide. So, hold on. Let's get it. I mean, we'll get it up the poll because that was just, that was a bigger letdown than the 2024 Jets. Well, not quite, but pretty close to it. Do you want Billy in the hole? Yes. No. All right, we're running up the poll. Let's see. I'm gonna set a timer on my little watch here. 5 minutes. Countdown's underway. We'll let the chat decide. I mean, my God. I appreciate the effort, Billy, but I mean, come on. We got to have some consequences around here for that. More of your calls. Let's say hello to June the GM. Hello, June.
Hey, what's going on? Nice hat, man. I like that.
Thank you. I liked your Asmaniac hat you wore the other day, June.
Hold on. It's not far. It's not too far. It's not too far. Okay.
Very nice.
So listen, I did a little bit of research on Mr. Steve Wilkes, and he's bounced around more than a promiscuous girl in her first year in college at Miami University. This guy has had 20-something jobs in the last few. It's crazy. Are there any other defensive coordinator rumors out there? Because I just keep hearing Steve Wilkes, and he's good, but I would like, a little bit of variety there because I'm not hearing nothing about the DC.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
We got breaking news, June. We'll come back to you, but I don't care how you voted in the poll. Knob Kraft has decided to be a dictator and take matters into his own hands. Billy, you had a great run, but that video wasn't good enough. 17 seconds, we'll never get back. So here's 28 seconds of Billy going into the hole.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
We will see you later, Billy. Now, wait a second. Bo just gifted 10 memberships. Is that to bring him back? You got to be kidding me. Bo C, 10 memberships. That's to bring him back. He's out. He is out. Billy, you will be a free man in about 30 seconds. Stand by. Wow. Who would have thought Billy M had that kind of support from the chat? Ladies and gentlemen, 10 seconds from now, you will see a Billy M comment appear because he's now been removed from the hole. Unreal. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to respect the bounty there. All right. Bo's back. But you guys know the rules. I mean, we could easily send him back for another 10. Same Beast Breaker rules, Allen rules, they apply to Bo. We don't we're not picking favorites around here. We got to have some order on this show. 25 super chats. I think Billy needs to come on and explain that. I agree, Billy. Maybe you should call on and explain whatever the heck that was supposed to be. First things first, Knob gifted memberships to Luca, SOTM Network, Andrew Gabrielston, Joe Deceptive, Gerbo Fortius, Sam Leitner, Dan Pavou, John Siambra. And then here are the 10 from Oscar. Or not from Oscar, so I can't speak. The first 10 I read were from Knob. These are the actual 10 from Bo. That's what I'm trying to say, but I can't talk. Michael Sipak, Undesigned God, Zachary Gingerera. That's an interesting name. Evan M12, Shane McGarry, J God from NY, Brandon Rivera, Michael Walsh, Kilopatra, Roger Hornby, all receiving channel memberships. All right. On that note, let's get back to June's excellent call. Continue, June. You're not a big Steve Wilkes guy.
Well, no. Not that I'm not a big Steve Wilkes fan, but I mean, he hasn't held a position in more than 2 years anywhere. He has over 20-something places he's been. That's a lot, quite a lot for a coach. But I haven't heard anything. You know, like I like the call on the young Rams assistant, Kaylee. I like that. You know what? Let's take a risk. If we're gonna take a shot, let's go with a young gunner. But in a defensive end, I mean, I don't know. He's all right. Are there any other, is there any other interest with anybody else? And then I did a deep dive into the Broncos' last few draft classes, and they have been pretty underwhelming. So I hope that Mr. Magoo Moogie didn't didn't have too much say-so in that, because his resume, if he did, is a little underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not excited, but at least we got Aaron Glenn to help that situation out.
That was the Billy M timer, but guess what? Billy's a free man, so we don't need to worry about it. Look, I'm not really that concerned about Steve Wilkes like bouncing around. The guy's a really good defensive coach. He's bounced around a lot because he's been advancing in his career. And sometimes you can't control when like a coaching staff gets fired and you're out of a job and you're finding work. Like this guy was a head coach in the league because he was good enough to get that job. And then the second there was a need for an interim in Carolina, he took over and did a good job there. Right. And they were winning games under him. So I think he'd be a good choice. I do. I would not criticize that. There's other names out there, I suppose. Right. I think, is Matt Eberflus still available? Did someone hire him yet?
I think it's still available.
Like,
I brought up hear other names. I just want to, there's so many talented defensive coordinators. I would just like to hear a couple other names, in the mix, because it's just like Steve Wilkes and that's it.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Jake.
But because the emphasis is clearly a DC with previous head coaching experience. Like that's what Glenn's looking for.
I get that. And one more thing I wanted to say, is to me, I feel the way the way we're handling this GM search is kind of crazy. It's
weird. I mean, it's weird. The reporting on it also sucks too. Like when Josina Anderson puts out what she did, it kind of throws everything up. And like, if someone was like, "Where's your reaction video?" I'm like, "He's not the GM yet." I'm like, "I'm glad I didn't do a reaction video. It's not done." June agrees. I left him speechless. How about that? Thank you, June. Lewis Cordova with a 5 spot of channel memberships. Let's go. Here we go. These are from Lewis, these 5. NY, Jets for Life, Lee Gray, Roger Judd, Cat 10, Condor, Caprone OG. Are you kidding me? Luis in the raffle for 5. Mike D's Nuts is back, baby. Are you kidding me, Mike? Mike D's Nuts in for another 5 membership. D's Nuts. Here we go. 5 from D's Nuts. Mike Fernandez, James Brown, Smart Magic 28, Zach Ross, Mrs. Craig. How about that, Craig? and Australia's wonderful wife is now a member. Grab the boomerangs, people. Smart Magic, Zach Ross. I think I got everyone there. All right. Appreciate it, Mike and Lewis. Thank you guys. That's 80 members added to the show. That's 80 more raffle tickets. Raffle, I am tentatively saying is going to be Tuesday because Monday's Glenn's press conference, so we're going to be busy with that. So I think Tuesday's the best day for that. We'll have huge viewership Monday to get more raffles. I'll add another prize at this rate, which is awesome. Bo C. Holy crap, it's a member off.
Money, 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 money.
Sonic Boom, Southern Jet, LTE 302, Kel A, and Brett Sanderson all receiving memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, a guy who won our last raffle, the autographed Garrett Wilson helmet, the Hamburger. He's in the raffle now for 5 channel memberships, baby. Yeah.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
UHH me now. Nicholas Werner, Mr. Jet Keys, Eric R, NYR Tim. Someone commented, how do I get a membership? You probably missed out, but maybe there's more coming. Hit the like button, be subscribed to the channel, and you have a chance to get a membership. Also, comment on every video of mine so the algorithm gets used to your account, and that increases your chances of gifting one even if you're not watching the show live. So like the video, be subscribed, make sure you have turned gift memberships on, and you got a chance to get one. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to John Luca on the line. Hello, John.
Yeah, you are just.
John?
Yeah. Hi.
What do you want to say?
What have you? I don't know.
John, tell your dad to get better.
Show him what you get to
internet.
What?
Show him what you get to the Beast Breaker.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Is that all?
And what about Billy M?
Oh, he's a disgrace.
Go to the hole, Billy M.
Shout out to Jay Quest. His internet sucked, but we got the point of that. Jay Quest, John Luca, baby. Unreal. See, that's funny. I need to do the dig at Billy. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy is on the line, and if this call goes poorly, I'm once again running the poll to decide if we should send him back to the hole after that 17-second video that I quite frankly didn't deliver what I thought was going to be delivered. But Billy's a good guy, so we're going to hear him out. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy M. Billy, what happened there?
Hey, what's up, man? That was a funny thing. I went to the gym the other day. I jumped on an elliptical machine. So I wanted to make a funny skit at the Beast Breaker. But listen, I am 18-1 as an amateur fighter. Those moves are hard to counter. But that's just floating around. That's only
could you do it live? I think it'd be more effective if you did it live. I think
I
that
could
would
do it
redeem
live,
itself.
but I have no way to put my phone. I mean, I can still do a split at 52 years old, man.
Put it against the wall, Billy, and put your phone like this. Like
what do you want me to do? A split? You want me to do a split?
Whatever you think you got to do to take out Beast Breaker, right?
Beast Breaker is easy. I'll sneeze on the guy. I mean, that's no doubt. He would have lasted a second. But yeah, hold on one second. What do you want to see me do? What do you want to see me do?
Give us some real, what are you?
What do you want to see me do?
Are you a boxer?
Well, I do everything. I do a lot of elbows. I do martial arts.
All right, you're John Jones, and you're
now
fighting
watch
Beast
this.
Breaker.
You see the split? 52 years old, right on the floor, baby. I still got it. Anybody wants to try me, we go to any gym. I'll see you guys later, man. It's all respect.
Someone said they wanted to pay for you to not do a split.
Huh? Well, I didn't hear you.
Someone wanted to pay for you to not do a split. They didn't want to see it.
Oh, they don't want a man. Look, I'm flexible. I'm athletic. I'm an old man right now, but you know what? I hold my own. So
give us another punch. Give us another real look at it.
What type of punch you want? Straight jab?
Yeah, jab, jab, punch. Give us some combos.
Who said I can't punch?
Billy,
I can punch. What's up?
We will leave it to the chat to decide how you did. So Billy has called in, gave us a live performance. Chat, evaluate what you thought from Billy. Billy has called out Beastbreaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Beastbreaker to respond.
Beastbreaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he'd gabagoo.
Beast, were you impressed at all by Billy's athletic prowess there? Or you think you could take him?
When I was 25, I had legs straight forward, but nah, I don't think so. No chance. I don't need to be put in the hospital. But yesterday, almost had a panic attack on the left side. I'm not gonna have it. If I was in good shape, yeah, but unfortunately,
I see. Hey, Beast, call us back from a better line. The connection's not great.
You know what time it is? A Beastbreaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gabagoo.
Altoona Sandwich checks in. I'm way behind. Is Lance Newmark staying in DC, or is he still in the mix? No one has said that he's not in the mix anymore. It just doesn't feel like it. He might still very well be in the mix. There is an update from Connor Hughes saying that Woody and Chris have been meeting behind closed doors to come to a decision on who they want to name the GM. So they could say like, oh, this doesn't mean that Josina is inaccurate, but if they're meeting right now to decide who the GM is, then like, where's Josina getting that it's Moogie? Like maybe it ends up being Moogie, but I don't know if Josina's report is right. She can't claim victory on this tweet from 11:30 today. If Connor Hughes is saying that they're meeting right now to figure out who the GM is, I don't know. Well, another old-fashioned source-off, baby. Connor says, sneaky name to watch for the Jets is Bobby Slowick. Connor, I will tell you this with good confidence. You have a better chance of being the Jets OC than Bobby Slowick. It will not happen. And if it does happen, I will resign as a Jet fan. He's terrible. No, thank you. It's going to be Nick Haley. I'm not reporting that. I just have been told it's going to be him, so we'll see. Big fellow writes in. Oh, actually, Hennessy super chatted. Beast really got here and overtook Bobby. I heard from Bobby today. He reached out. He apologized for going at me yesterday. So Bobby and I are all good. We have no issues. Big fella, here's his super chat. God doesn't want to hear Butterballs crap today. I don't know about that. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker says, Jake, I got my internet up now. I'm sorry. So, Beastbreaker is back. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Holy crap, here comes Beastbreaker 666.
Why don't you get your fat ass on a treadmill and go the distance with me?
Is that Bobby Midnight?
I'm not into politics, and I already told you that.
I might be big, but I'm going to be bad enough to put you out.
Beastbreaker always has some salient points.
Beast, how's the internet?
Okay, I'm just calming down. I'm not going to yell and scream right now at this jerk off today. No. I'm just trying to relax.
Good approach. Hey, do some meditation like Chiefs fan was telling you about.
You mean?
No violence. We'll settle this calmly.
Well, that was a little bit of Apollo Creed from Rocky 2 I had to bring out. I haven't watched that in 100 years. But who is this Mookie's guy? Who is this guy?
Darren Moogie?
And who is he?
He is the assistant GM of the Broncos, and he's a finalist for the Jet job.
I'm not too sure. Not sure. I like Trey Brown a little bit more because he's experienced, and he played with the Patriots, so we can bring him over.
The internet again, Beast. What's happening?
Sorry about that, people. So I'm just going to say this one time. I do not want this Mookie guy. I'm not too sure on him. Not sure. I'm really not sure. There's no way.
He's gone.
Piece of shit.
Nah, it just wasn't working. Damn. You know, it's fitting that Beast's internet is very 1990s like today, because that's a lot of his references. Man. Let's see. We have a super chat from Mike who writes in. Do you think Moogie was a test for the leak? No, I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that. Ricky says Beast equals the turd that wins the punch bowl versus Billy. Ricky, thank you for the super chat. I had a point I wanted to make, and now I just forgot it, which is not fun when you do a show by yourself and there are currently 600 people watching. What did I want to say? Oh, I've remembered. The reason why there's been so little info coming out is because all the guys who are in that building who leak have been fired. And this is another example of that, by the way. So when we talk about that athletic story being leaks of Douglas and Salah and all these other assistant coaches who know they're getting fired, and Diana Rossini could come on and say, well, no, my sources are actually still in the building right now. It's not people that have been fired. Yeah, technically you're right, but they're going to be fired. Mike Ruttenberg's already taken another job. Jeff Olbricht's already taken another job. All these people are planting stories to make themselves look good on the way out. And people get upset when they get fired and hate their boss and are willing to talk crap. So part of the reason why we don't have a ton of info on this is because like the people who provide the info to buddy up and curry up favor with the reporters, they're not in the building anymore. They're fired. They're gone. So a lot of the rats are gone. But there's still leakers in there that survive this. So there will be info that comes out. Plus, sometimes it's not even people from the Jets. It's the agents of these people. That's how you get stories. Mike D's nuts. Are you kidding me, Mike? Oh, baby. A TED spot of channel memberships. Wow. 10 memberships have just been gifted by the great Mike D's nuts. D's nuts. Here we go. 10 more names courtesy of the great Mike D's nuts. And with that now brings us to 100 gifted memberships during this program. John Battagalati, Bernard Cognio, I Like to Watch, Bobby Sweaty Scrotum, Joe I, Steve Badino, BC, Stanley Babchich, Phelpsy, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, the Colts running back? Oh, wow. 10 from Mike D's nuts. Hold on. How about 105 memberships added during the show? 5 from Bo C going toe-to-toe with Mike D's nuts.
Money, 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 money.
Big Evil, Darren L, Jesse, Al Francisco, all receiving channel memberships there. I Grit also got a membership out of that. For those who missed the first show today, because of all the gifted memberships, we obviously have added the Klecko jersey to the signed Garrett Wilson jersey and all the other prizes in the raffle next week. But for those who missed it, channel members now, we have 2 Aaron Glenn emojis that Snowball was nice enough to make for us. So Aaron Glenn as a player, Aaron Glenn as a coach are the 2 emojis for Aaron Glenn you'll see for all channel members available. So thanks to everyone for your continuous support. Open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. The link is pinned, but I keep posting the StreamYard link. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who is up next on our show. Hey, Kyle.
Do you think it's that ownership here is so bad, or it's just the market? Like, it seems like we always end up looking bad. Like,
do you think they look bad right now?
I kind of think they do. I kind of like especially for Jet fans, to hear Woody and Christopher behind closed doors, and like, it's not confidence inspiring. Like the whole process isn't confidence inspiring.
Who does
bringing in McCarthy is not confidence inspiring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
who does Glenn want? That's what I want. You know, I'd rather Glenn make the decision than Chris, who hired Adam Gase, and Woody, who has basically failed for most of his ownership.
Right. I want to kind of follow up. I think it was Brian was making the points, and maybe Big Fella, about who the new GM is going to come in and extend. And I agree with you. about Garrett Wilson. He is the top priority. He's really the only priority.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do anything with anyone else from that draft class besides Garrett.
It's a conversation with Sauce about this is the carrot. You need to show us a little bit. Not even like a formalized conversation, but like make sure that it's known that you know they'd be open to extending him, but it's not quite the time yet. For Jermaine, as much as I love Jermaine, and for Brees, as talented as he is, I don't think you can go down that road because it's an Achilles for a guy who needs explosion. And you're talking about Brees when you have these other two guys behind him, and he's already in the last year of his deal. I disagree with you wildly on it, Jake. If anyone were ever to come in with a second-round pick for him this year, I would have to look at it.
I'll consider it. I don't know. I'm in no rush to get rid of.
No, I mean we
Brees
shouldn't
Hall.
be in a rush to get rid of good players, but I think the thing that would get us closer back to a playoff level is if we could rebuild the defensive line, which we might be able to do with an extra second-round pick, and then we could certainly make do with Davis and Braylon. As far as like some of the existing players that we might be looking to extend, yeah, certainly Jamian is one of them, and Eccles might be another. Where you would say to him, "Listen, this is the money we're comfortable extending you at, and we're going to give you an opportunity to go and compete for the job, whether it's with Stiggers or whomever, or someone that they bring in for that second cornerback role." I mean, there are guys. What do you think? Whether you think that Joe Douglas was a good GM or bad, there are guys that I think that are in the pipeline that end up popping, like Blake Cashman, like Frankie Laveau. Like all these guys, they go somewhere else and they were drafted, and all of a sudden they kind of pop down the line. It's a matter of recognize those pipeline guys and when they might be able to take on an enhanced role, whether that's Jabot or Jarek Bernard Converse, or whether it's time to get rid of some of these guys that haven't panned out and start to replenish that depth on the offensive line in the secondary, notably, to see where we can best go forward. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, look, all fair. I just hope whoever they decide on is the right guy, because you're going with two first timers. It feels like I'm very curious to see.
I think it's Muji, and I hope it's tonight.
Do you have a Muji rocking everywhere in you?
He's holding out for money. It turns out that Muji is bougie.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'll talk to you later.
Also, Kyle, thank you for buying a quarter zip I saw earlier. Appreciate that.
You know, Mrs. Clifton is going to be beside herself because she just got me a whole bunch of Land's End ones for Christmas, but she doesn't need to know about it until it gets here.
Which one did you buy? Did you buy the black one or
the black one with the classic 4 jet logo? Yes.
I love it. Well done, sir.
Talk to you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Kyle Clifton. For those who missed it earlier, we added new merch for winter quarter zips. Also have long sleeve shirts. The quarter zips are Adidas quarter zips. They say Asmaniac or Jake Asman Show. They're awesome. The long sleeve shirts say Jake Asman Show, and then on the back they have the Asmaniac logo, and then you have the Asmaniac logo, which is awesome. They come in white and black. And then we have every winter hat style you could want. I just don't have all the pictures to show you. But take my word for it. Good, high-quality stuff. Patreon users, 20% off with the code that comes with your membership. Check the Discord for updates or the Patreon for a full post on all that info. Ladies and gentlemen, Bo C is back. He's a menace. Another 5 memberships.
Money.
Shout out to Bo. If you got a membership from Bo, thank him. Who got him? Here we go. Rich Diaz, Arizier A, Staken Hardway, and FR Energy On, all receiving channel memberships just like that. Altoona says Robert Randolph reporting Wally Zerbiak now in the mix for GM. For those who don't get this reference, you got to be a Knick fan. Robert Randolph's sources are not always accurate. But it is Friday Night Knicks. At least not tonight. They play tomorrow, actually, so no. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. This guy yesterday was labeled a misogynist. He was labeled a sexist. And I got to be honest, these labels were 1,000% accurate. SEAL Team 75, assemble.
The clapping seals, they're alive and well in the chat. Oh, you can't be talking about me. I'm not those things. You probably clicked on the wrong person or something.
What did you say about women's ability to do math yesterday, Gary?
Oh yeah, women are terrible at math. Math, driving, specifically parking, but driving in general, and using logic. Not their strong suits. Have you ever sat with women and listened to them give each other advice? It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. No, I'm gonna retract that statement. It's the second worst thing I've ever heard in my life. The worst thing I've ever heard in my life is we're trading Brees for a second round pick. That's what we're doing now. That's what we're talking about today.
Well, that's what Kyle Clifton suggested.
You got a generational running back in the second round. The garbage man who wins the lottery doesn't throw away the winning ticket. Like, we're going to trade Brees Hall for a second round pick and hope to draft Brees Hall again? Or we're just going to give...
I don't want to trade Brees either, but I don't think we could say Brees Hall is a generational running back.
He's the best running back we've had in a generation, by far. Chris Ivory, we got him when he was 29. He's way better. He's way better than that.
Yeah, he's really good. I think Brees is awesome, but I don't think he's generational.
For us, I'm saying he's the best one we've had in a generation. He's the best running back we've had
since Curtis Martin.
Yeah, that's a generation ago. That's what I meant by that. Like, for us, he's the best running back we've had in a generation.
All right, just say he's the best Jet running back since Curtis Martin.
Okay. He's the best Jet running back since Curtis Martin, and we're trading him for a second. What is he, 24?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade him. I don't think Brees has been utilized, and if they're going to bring Rodgers back, I want to keep Brees because Brees is on board with Rodgers coming back. He's retweeting everything about bringing Aaron back, and I think they could run an offense that is more through Brees, and that will help Aaron out as well.
We got him for 3 more years if we want to. Right? We franchise tag him on 1 more year on the rookie deal. We got him for why would we, like, after that we can have the conversation what you want to do with him, but like, no, he's a Jet for the next 3 years. Sorry, pal.
Not necessarily, because you don't want to use the tag where it counts all against your cap. You could potentially have him this year and use the tag once. You probably wouldn't see it twice. You have him for 2 more years though.
At least 2 more years. Like, after that, we can have a conversation. Like, if you want to have a conversation down the road, how much Sauce Gardner is worth. Like, but these aren't guys that we're trading. Like, wasn't it at the deadline last year? Let's trade Sauce. Let's trade Garrett. Like, stop. Like, this is our core of players. We can win. We can be competitive with this core of players. We're not trading it away.
Kyle Clifton wrote in for us. ... Low bar.
I get it. We're not exactly a model franchise. We've had good players come in the organization. Now we have. It just hasn't equated to much winning.
There's good players on this team right now.
And it hasn't equated to winning. No, I agree. Hopefully that all changes now. Let me ask, go ahead.
No, Jets Worldwide. This is Snowball. We know he's the greatest teacher to come to the Long Island education system in quite some time. He says, I will put any of my students up against Gary in a math and logic competition.
The math thing I'm out on. I never said I'm good at math. That was the irony of the call yesterday, that my wife actually has to teach Decker math, because I was helping her with her math homework today. I was like, screw this. Just go ask your mom. Like, I can't do this. Like, I hate it. Was like like the PEMDAS. Remember that stuff? Like the exponents and the brackets. Yeah, there ain't no way. There ain't no way I'm doing that. Just go talk to your mom. I don't even know how to put this in a calculator properly. I can't help you with this.
Kyle Clifton is going at you for your franchise tagging running back take.
Yeah, because that's never been done before. No team has ever franchise tagged running backs before. That would be a novel idea. You want to trade them and what? Give Braylon Allen 20 carries a game? That's what you want to do?
Connor Long says, I hate PEMDAS.
Thank you, Connor Long. Thank you, Connor. So do I. Hey, let me give you a little advice, Connor Long. You'll never use it in your professional life unless you're a math teacher. All right? So just avoid being a math teacher, and you'll never use that again. What you should do, Connor Long, is quit school, Run the channel full time, and by the time you're graduating age, just hire all your little friends to work for you. That's what you should do. Remember, college is a crutch for the talentless. I went to college. I had talent.
You believe that?
I mean, to a degree, yeah. I mean, it's like an overstatement, right? But like, if you're that gifted and that talented, you don't need a college degree. Did Kobe Bryant go to college?
No, he went to the NBA.
Was he the best basketball player of your lifetime?
So, are you saying Connor should quit school and go to the NBA? Is that what
No,
you're
he
saying?
should run. He's got his channel. He's not a basketball player. He's a broadcaster.
Yeah,
he can do that.
He has a channel, but he's also 14. I don't know if
about the legalities and that. So check.
I don't know if he'll be making a full-time salary by the time he's ready to go to college.
In 4 years, if he devoted 10 hours a day, 6 days a week.
So you're saying he should quit? He should quit middle school and just do Jet YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
Just between you and I, Jake, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Connor writes in, you can't drop out until 16.
We'll work something out. I know some people in the New York State education department. We'll take care of it, Connor. All right, but I got you. Don't you worry about the legalities. I got a legal team that can handle all that for you. Don't worry about that.
Well, Gary, I thought I was gonna have to send into the hole because I saw Mike D's Nuts drop 10 memberships, but I asked Mike for clarification before announcing this and said, "Hey, these aren't for Gary, right?" And he goes, "No, I like Gary, so you're safe."
All right, cool.
Mike D's Nuts will vote for you in March, it sounds like. How about 10 memberships from Mike D's Nuts? Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear your name called, thank Mike D's Nuts and hit the D's Nuts emoji if you're now a channel member. Dave Smith, TPI, Michelle Me, William Hans, Verge Tibbs, Crappy, all receiving channel memberships from the great Mike D's Nuts. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Everyone's getting a membership today. And if you're not getting one, that's on you.
Money, 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 money.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bo C has gifted 5 memberships. Before we get back to Gary's nonsense, let's say thank you, Bo.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Joey Val, Joey Cintron, Joe Trust, Aiton, NJ, and Jet Mom Callie all receiving memberships. We're at 130 memberships added this show. Our record is 420. So we got ways to go, but man, have the Asmaniacs brought it. Barbarossa is saying same thing with his students to what Snowball said about his.
Snowball went to Hofstra. Their list of famous alumni, if you go to their website, are me, Snowball, and Wayne Corbett.
What about Willie Colon?
Willie Colon went there too. That's true. Good point, Jake. Good point.
Marcus Colston?
I did a blind test with his numbers against Ocho Cinco's numbers, and they're basically a wash. Like, he doesn't get the respect that he deserves, Colston. He was a damn good receiver for a decade. Like, he was really, really good. Colston was really good. He was there when I was there. He was like, I think he was a year younger than me. But we had
Kyle, who cares about Marcus? Carl Colston, and give me an example where the tag was a good decision. Kyle says, should the Giants have tagged Saquon? No.
They shouldn't have tagged Saquon?
Well, they did for 1 year, and then remember they agreed like last second. It was like the same amount of money, though, basically.
I don't. Why shouldn't they have tagged Saquon? I don't. Why was that a bad decision? You know what the bad decision is? Letting the best offensive player you've had that you brought up to your own organization that you drafted. Now, I don't even know how long to trade him for a second-round pick when he's like 24, 25. Well, how old is he? 24? You want to trade him for a second-round pick? And do what? You're gonna run Isaiah Davis 20 times a game? That's what you want to do? Like,
I would not trade him. I disagree with Kyle when he said it. I would not trade him.
Like, I've heard bad ideas before, but that takes the cake. That is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. That was the worst take ever. I don't want to hear that again, and I want to hear tanking ever again. And let me just put this out there.
Do you find things? Do you find any irony in you saying that someone else had the worst take ever?
No, I don't.
No, really?
I don't. Do you think women are good at math?
I think they're tremendous at math. Yeah.
You think? And you think?
Here's my take on that. You ready for this, Gary? Men and women can either be good at math or bad at math. I don't think gender has anything to do with their math skills. I think some people are good at math, Some people are horrible at math. I am horrendous at math.
I am too. So I'm not speaking on the math thing. It's just making an observation. Like tall people happen to be better at basketball than short people. Not that short people can't be good at basketball, right? But that's an exception to the rule, right? That's an exception. It's not the rule. And how about parallel parking?
I think men and women can equally be good or bad at parallel parking. I don't think gender. Yes, I don't think gender has anything to do with it.
ESPN's not listening. You can speak frankly, Jake.
They could be listening. I don't think.
Right.
I don't think gender is. I don't think gender has anything to do with the ability to parallel park or not.
You live in New York City. You see women try to parallel park all day, every day.
I do.
I
see men try to do it too. They're terrible at it as well.
They can do it without hitting the curb. They might be 8 inches from the curb, but they're not going to hit the curb. Like if you're ever parallel parking with a woman, make sure you're not holding a hot cup of coffee because that's going to spill all over you because she's hitting a curb. We all know that's happening. We can pretend like it's not, but
Peter
if you
Castro,
have a hot...
enough, Jesus, Peter Castro, Brees goes nowhere. Bad take.
Thank you, Peter Castro.
Big fella, tell Butterball the Wi-Fi in the whole rehabilitation center is being fixed as we speak. Sorry for the inconvenience. Be standby. Big fella's working on fixing your Wi-Fi, and we'll come back to you at some point. But Gary, here's what we need to do right now. All right. We need a rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
You know you're losing him in 2026 for nothing, right? Like a comp pick?
Why would you lose him in 2026? We could just tag him.
You're going to tag him.
Yeah.
List for me the tagged running backs that have ever done anything in the league.
We just did Saquon Barkley. We just did that.
Okay.
He was tagged in 20.
So it would have been a good move for the Giants to tag Saquon Barkley, where they are in their development right now.
To have tagged him this year
I can't
again
deal
this
with
year?
the stupidity. I can't do it. They are
The
not
Jets
close
aren't
to winning,
obsessed with the
Gary.
Giants
They're
having
not
a-
close to winning.
I disagree. I disagree 100%. I disagree 100%. Are they far away from winning a Super Bowl? Yeah. Are they far away from being 10-7 and making
So
the
why
playoffs?
wouldn't you
Not
keep
at
your
all.
powder dry to use the tag on someone who might be useful until you can bang out a contract with it? Saquon Barkley is how old?
28. I think he's 28.
Right. So you want to tag him year over year for what purpose when they're no good and they're not going to win anything?
So Saquon Barkley was no good
Ridiculous.
this year?
It's a ridiculous take.
Dude, franchise tag your franchise running back, who's the best running back you've had since Curtis Martin. That's a bad idea. I don't even know how to respond. I don't even know how to
First of
respond to
all,
that.
what has Brees Hall done to make you to deserve this? He really hasn't done that much. Right?
Okay.
If someone comes in and they overwhelm you, they offer you a high second round or a first, then you have to consider it. And that's all I said. Right? I didn't say you must trade him, right?
If it's a
because
first,
if you do get
I will
that pick,
consider it.
what's that?
If it's a first, I'd consider it. Maybe a first
Okay,
is a
so
lot.
now
I'm
we're
still
getting
not, like,
somewhere. Now we're
I'm
getting
still not
somewhere because
married
before it was
to
just
that
out.
idea.
It was out there, right?
If we're trading it for a second round pick, yeah, I'm 100% out on trading the best running back I've had in almost 20 years for a second round pick. I'm 100% out on that.
Okay.
Who's 20? If he was 27, okay, let's have that conversation. He's 24. I'm not getting rid of him at all.
Okay.
First round.
All I'm saying is that we have guys in the pipeline. He's come off a serious knee injury, and he didn't really play that well last year. So what we're doing, tagging this guy or extending him, I don't know. He is not the priority. We all agree that Garrett's the priority. We're going to go year to year. If it makes sense for us to do it on a year-to-year basis, we're going to extend Brees. But to tag him, like tagging Brees Hall is not like, you want to talk about the dumbest thing that we could do? That's the dumbest thing that we could do.
Well, to me, you do two things, right? You just give Garrett Wilson, you pay Garrett Wilson, whatever like the average of the top 10 wide receivers are, just give Garrett Wilson that. He'll agree to it, I would think, right? Like that's fair market value. That's good value for Garrett Wilson. And just extend him and just have him long term. You don't want to do that with Brees Hall for the reasons that you named, but you also don't want to trade him for a second round pick when he's 24. Yeah, year by year. We have him for this year. He can't go anywhere this year. and we can tag him next year. I don't know why you wouldn't tag him next year, unless he has another crippling injury this year. But assuming he plays well and stays healthy, why wouldn't you tag him?
My whole thing is that we have other areas that are, quite frankly, hurting. The defensive line, the defensive backfield.
Answer Castro.
He had what? He had 1,300 yards this year total, all-purpose yards, and 10 touchdowns or so.
It's probably right.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's not. We were expecting better production. I agree. I would have said he had like 1,700 yards and more touchdowns, but it is what it is. But that's still highly productive. I mean, how many running backs in the NFL are you actually taking?
It really has nothing to do with the player. Like, think an example of a team that tagged the running back was the Vikings, right? With Peterson, right? They ended up going nowhere with it. They did it to probably satiate the fans. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you couldn't let Peterson walk. Yeah,
right. But it wasn't good team building, is what my point is. And I don't think that tagging running backs really is ever great team building. There's times when tagging kickers is better team building. There's times when tagging kickers is better team building.
The Cowboys tagged Pollard a couple years ago. I know that for sure. So
Right.
I mean, was that a bad decision?
I mean, he's off the team now. Like, it's like, what do you is my point. Like,
I'm not saying when he's 27, you give him a massive contract like Saquon Barkley got. I'm probably opposed to that too. They're running backs. Unfortunately, they're thoroughbreds. You run them into the ground and then you send them out to the glue factory. Not the nicest thing in the world, but that's how it works with running backs.
This is the business.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the business.
Now there's a gas station over here. I'm gonna go get some pizza and see if they have any butter to put on it.
That was great to see Kyle Clifton fired up. I tried to get him to go off on Peter Castro, but it didn't happen. His passion was just reserved for Gary. Altoona did sandwich. Can we get a Jeff Lagman to rumble with Kyle Clifton instead of 5D boxing? Oh, man. What a show. Kyle, good call. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy has been on probation. This guy we have not heard from in quite some time. I'm curious to see how the chat will react. Will anyone send him to the hole immediately? Ladies and gentlemen, B-Mac.
B-Mac. Look at my TV. B-Mac. I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets. Go Jets.
Hey, Jake. Yeah, I'm back. You know what I mean? I just got a question for you about Rodgers.
Real quick, B-Mac.
Yeah, and then after that, can you put me on with Beast? Because me and Beast got to get into it.
Did you hear Gary's comments about women?
Yeah, well, you see here in the bottom of my screen, I love women. So all you haters say I'm a woman hater. I'm a woman beater. That's not true. Like I said, that was out of angle. I love you, Jay Graves. You know what I mean? And I love women. But, what's this narrative that the Jets should bring Rodgers back because he's outside the distraction? You got my question?
No, I don't.
Yeah, what's the narrative that the Jets, people are saying the Jets should bring Rodgers back because he's outside the distraction?
I don't have your question.
You're not gonna you want to repeat myself again?
Your internet's not great, B-Mac.
I know, but this hanging,
You haven't learned your lesson.
Put me on with Beast.
It's still struggling. And you know what, B-Mac?
Put me on with Beast.
Let me tell you something. With the power invested in me by the chat, we banish you to the hole.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mimosa has sent B-Mac to the hole. And Bo has revived B-Mac. B-Mac is back. B-Mac, call back. What's sad is I was going to let you finish your point, but your internet is trash. You were asking something about Rogers, but all I heard is static. 20 memberships just like that, though, for the people. Mimosa and Bo, back to back, belly to belly. Here are the 10 for Mimosa, 10 raffle entries for her. Flavin Ruda, Zach, Armand, Will McLean, Keith Committee, Devin Beasley, Brian A., Matthew Pennington, any relation to Chad, Anthony, all receiving memberships. Here are the ones now that are from Bo. Bo gifted 10 to the following as Maniacs: Joseph, Grayson, Toon, William78, Ghostly Plays, Dom Perignon, Brian Connolly, Bray Returns, LeVar Graves, all receiving channel memberships just like that. Ladies and gentlemen, B-Mac has been revived. And B-Mac, before I go back to you, I want you to please try and figure out why you can't get a damn internet connection. It does not make any sense. B-Mac, what's the issue?
I don't know what's wrong with my internet. I'm trying to figure out 100 times.
B-Mac, it doesn't even matter, because guess what? Guess what? You're gone. Now look what you've done, B-Mac. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Farewell, B-Mac. You're back in the hole. Maybe Bo C could get you out, but it wasn't meant to be for you today. Wasn't meant to be. Oh, what a wild turn of events. Bad internet today on the show. It's been a wild one. Let's continue with more of your phone calls right now before we wrap things up. Let's say hello to Big Cho. What's up, Coach Cho?
Hey, what's up, Jay?
How are you, Cho?
I'm doing well. I'm representing your shirt today.
Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Wore it to practice.
Love that. Thank you, man.
They're like, who's that? Who's that? I said, that's my boy from New York.
Thank you, Big Cho.
Oh, you're welcome. I just got here, so I don't know what's going on in the show. What's been going on?
People going to the hole, people being revived from the hole, mixed reporting on who the GM is. We don't know yet. It's been a wild one.
We don't know who the GM's going to be yet?
Not yet.
I have a question. Since I don't live up there, I don't know the ins and outs of everything. Have the Jets ever considered moving back to the city, getting a new stadium, and not sharing it with the Giants, have their own like they used to at Shea?
A while ago, but it was shot down. Dolan was involved in mixing it, and they're locked into MetLife now for years to come.
Oh, that sucks.
It does.
I still want to come up to a game.
Well, Big Show, we would love to have you at a game.
Yeah, just give me an invite. I'm going to try to save up a little money, do a little door dashing, so I can come up and go to a game.
I love it, Big Show. Well, when I have info on what the schedule is and what games we're doing the group by, maybe you could join us this year. After we had 150 Asmaniacs come to the Texans game this year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd love to come.
I'll tell you what, Big Show. I look forward to it, man. Look forward to meeting you in person. Appreciate the call. Say hello to Paul, who's next. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Jake. How's my audio today?
Much better, man. Now we can actually experience a Paul call without you sounding like you're like
Yeah, I've never done it before, so it was using the wrong mic. That was the problem. So I would listen to everybody, and everyone wants to make these decisions on the guys on the team, and I'm sitting here looking at it going, we had the worst coaching staff in football last year. And how can you evaluate some of these guys who are about to enter their fourth season and say, I want to get rid of them. I want to give these Garrett. I agree. Give Garrett an extension that makes sense. But like Sauce had a bad year. Was he being coached the right way? No, that team was a disaster last year. Brees wasn't utilized properly. Blocking schemes were terrible. So yeah, he had a bad year, but should we just get rid of him for a second round draft pick? Seems crazy to me. Like, I feel like everyone's ready to make these rash decisions and they don't understand. Like, we just have to take a step back and let new coaching staff get in, implement the scheme, change the culture of what's going on with the organization in general. And then you can evaluate these guys. Like, you have the opportunity. You don't have to make any rash decisions right now on these guys. And your cap space, they can make the cap. Like, the argument I've been having with people about cap is ridiculous to me. It's like the dumbest argument that I think we have going back and forth with people, because you can restructure people. You can give pay cuts to certain people. Like, everyone's talking about Adams and Rodgers and their pay cuts and not taking pay cuts and what that means to the cap in 26. You don't even know what kind of contract they're willing to accept before you make those assumptions. So it's like, we got to just take a breath. Like, everybody's like making all these crazy GM decisions and player decisions, and we just literally. I mean, I've been around a long time. Rich Kotite, Jeff Ulbrich gave him a run for his money. I mean, like, that is as bad a coaching as I've ever seen in my life. So
yeah, I agree with you. You and I are aligned in wanting Aaron back. I just don't know what the thought process is yet from the new regime. Like, we gotta hear them out, what their plan would be. I don't see a better option than Rodgers with a revised contract, get you Devontae back, fix the defense, make some improvements to the tight end room, make some improvements to obviously the special team situation. And I think this version of Aaron Rodgers with a better running game, better scheme is good enough to have this team win 9 or 10 games and maybe do what the 06 Jets did when no one had any expectations for them, or do what the Chargers did with better coaching 1 year removed from, I think they won 5 games too, Staley's last year. So,
yeah,
I don't think it's crazy, man. You're fighting that fight on Twitter, though. I always see your tweets.
And it's funny, though, every time I put up a poll or something, everyone, like 75 to 80% of the people are like, yeah, well, when you look at Rodgers versus other options, everyone's like, yeah, Rodgers, that makes sense. But even the Brees conversation, to me, it's like, yeah, he had a down year last year, but like, do we not put any stock into the fact that they were decent offensive line for pass protection, but from a running scheme perspective, they were bad. Brees wasn't used properly. He needs to be in space. Running him into the middle of the line, which is not his strength.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times do we watch games? We're sitting there going 3rd and 1. Why are you running Brees up the middle? Like, it was just crazy town what we were watching last year.
100%. I agree with you, Paul. It's and look, I wouldn't, if someone offered me a first for Brees,
that's different.
Think about it, but like a 2nd round pick, like I don't know, Brees Hall's really good, and I'd like to see what he could do with real coaching. Hopefully, like if Nick Caley's the OC, like I think he's going to be, I think Brees Hall would be awesome in that style of offense with a McVay disciple. So I wouldn't trade for Brees. I think he could be incredible for them next year if he stays healthy.
Yeah, and then that's the one thing last thing I would say is, like, as far as the GMs go, it sounds like I think you talked about Connor's tweet, and it sounds like all 3 guys are still in the running from what they're saying. It sounds like Woody and Christopher are kind of getting together to make the decision on that.
Yeah, they're gonna do this tonight. Like, can I eat dinner?
Only thing I hope is that at this point, these 3 guys are all aligned with the vision that Glenn has, and so whether whoever they choose of the 3 aligns, and it's not, now we've taken Glenn out of it, and it's just going to be who we've decided. Like,
but it should be who Glenn wants. Like, I don't want them. Like, you committed to Glenn. You hired him first. Glenn should say, this is who I think it should be at this point.
Right. I agree.
I trust his acumen better than I do Chris, who hired Gase, and Woody, who's Woody.
Yep, for sure. Cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
Paul, I appreciate you, man. Good call. Rick Kent writes in, Paul being too rational. Hey, speaking of Rick Kent, Rick Kent became, I believe, the third Asmaniac today to buy merch from our merch drop. Rick Kent, I got an email, purchased an Asmaniac Adidas quarter zip. So, Rick, thank you very much, man. Good job using the Patreon code. Rick saved $13 with that code. Think about that. If you want to join the Patreon, it costs $5 a month. If you plan on buying merch, you're going to save more than $5. So you're getting a couple months of Rick essentially just got 2 months of Patreon for free by buying one item he was going to buy anyway. So that's why I always say, if you're going to buy merch, join the Patreon. It's worth it. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Bill bought a hat earlier. He saved $6. So he got a free month too at Patreon, if you think of it that way. How about this? Dave Brigga says, Bernard, you don't love, you lust women. So BMAC claims he loves women. Dave Brigga not buying it. Interesting. The Beast has messaged in the chat that he has fixed his internet connection. Ladies and gentlemen, we will find out.
You know what time it is? A Beast Breaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
Beast?
See, mijo.
Beast.
Breathe in. Can you hear me? I
Beast,
got
you
you.
there? Are you there, Beast?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
It's tough to hear you, Beast.
All right. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I think so.
Good. I'm only going to make this once and once only.
Beast,
I'm
I
not
can't
so
hear
sure
you
about
now.
Loki.
Hold on. I can't hear you. Go to the other side of the attic.
All right. Let me get you here. I'm going to say this once for everybody. Mookie Bettis, I'm not too sure about him. It's kind of hard to decide where we're going to put him. I like that other guy. I like that Trey Brown guy. I want him. He has the tools.
Hey,
And plus,
Beast, let me stop you there. I have some unfortunate news for you.
throw me a curveball. Like I got a baseball bat for it.
You've been sent to the hole.
By who?
You know, by Fango. You're nothing but a pile of
Now
old
look what
gabagool.
you've done.
Offensive line, defensive
Beast
line.
Breaker
Offensive line. The first thing I'm going to
666.
address-
No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think somebody
Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you bending over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
Jeffrey R. from the clouds. Where's he been? He has sent Beastbreaker to the hole. 20 memberships have just been gifted, though. That is a big-time number. Sound the alarm. Yeah.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
I'm getting my umbrella from underneath my desk. It is Gustbuster time. 20 names. Jeffrey R. in the raffle. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Where's my rain, damn it? There it is. 20 names to read off. If you want Beast back, the bounty to get him back is only 10. Even though Jeffrey paid 20, we'll keep it consistent. Corey, Joseph R., Victor DiLeonardo, Tim Sullivan, El Soto, Genko Abanano, Jesse Britton, Sir Michael Gecko, Sherm Penn, Harrison Shapiro, Cashball, Flying Armbar, Tombo, Kurt, John Bray, Isaiah Musa, House of Red Wine, David Alejandro, Marlon, all receiving channel memberships. Wow. That is a wild one from Jeffrey R. Good Lord. Wow. Jeffrey, thank you very much. A couple calls left here. I really thought this GM would happen now, especially after that Connor Hughes tweet. That has not happened. Now my computer's, I can't even see the chat now, so hold on. We had a membership explosion, and it has impacted my internet. Am I even on right now? People hear me? I have like a white screen. Stand by. Something's got to load here. I'm going to use my phone. Unless I have control. Do I have control? I think I do. Okay. Big fella says, I fixed Butterball's internet. He could say thanks. It was still pretty choppy. Brandon Frey with Super Chat. We should hire Ohio State receivers coach Brian Hartline as OC. That man develops receivers. I think he just got hired, did he not? Even still, I don't know if he'd leave to go to the Jets. I know Garrett would like that, though. Not a bad idea. I don't know if that's who the Jets would hire. Oscar the Grouch wanted to know if BMAC retired. I thought he retired too, but I guess not. So, all right. Let's see. Is this working? We got a guy on the line right now that requires an intro. We're going to do this right. All right. We're back. Here we go. Let's go.
I got my Iron UJ. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see. Sometimes when I have a few drinks, I slip and fall and break my face. Not that my vision was bad enough. Now I have this dog shit scar. Hi, Jake.
David.
Won't keep you on long. I know a young man like you needs to enjoy his Friday night.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen, David. When I'm done with this show, that is when they're going to hire the GM, and there won't be a Friday night for me. So I'm already prepared.
One of the drawbacks of your job, right?
You know, it beats having a real job, though, so it's all good.
There you go. I know. I feel you love what you do, Jake. Real quick, a good rumble between Gary and Kyle. I learned a little bit. And on your show this morning, Bobby's brother Mikey, don't know him personally, but he's already one of my favorite people. What a good guy.
Great guy. Yep, great call. I'm excited for him to get that Aaron Glenn autograph card I'm going to send him. He's going to go crazy when he sees that.
Oh my God, he's going to do 360s. But my question is, I think it's a legitimate question. So right now, you reported that the Johnson brothers are talking over who's going to be the GM. But in the meantime, coach, I mean, he who hesitates is lost. Does he have the authority to pick his own staff before they pick a GM?
Yeah, I think the staff is completely up to Aaron Glenn. Now, obviously, there's a budget for that, so that's ownership level. But yeah, Aaron Glenn will have total say over his staff. And to be honest, he's going to have a huge influence in the GM candidates too. Like, there's no way they'd pick a GM that Aaron Glenn wouldn't sign off on. So,
right,
and just to be clear, I'm not reporting that Woody and Chris are meeting. That was SNY's Connor Hughes who said that they've been in a meeting. So hopefully it gets done soon.
I'm sorry, you were just the middleman in that.
Yeah, I was just relaying the latest. I'm not reporting that. So don't blame me if it turns out that they never actually met and something completely different happened. I don't know. But that's what Connor's saying. He's usually very, very accurate. So that's the latest.
No, Jake. I've been listening to your show long enough that you cover your butt in detail and you just make everything so. I understand that.
Well, I appreciate that, David. What are you doing on this Friday night? Anything fun?
Actually, no. I'm gonna just watch TV. I don't know if any sports are on tonight, and I'm drinking Fireball straight up right now. And
straight up, you don't. Hold on, David. Let's do it. You got Fireball handy?
I have it in a glass though. It's not in a bottle.
That's all right. I'm gonna let it rip. We got a little Henny action for you. All right.
Oh, I would be honored.
Let's go. Group shots. Everyone pour one out and join in. Here we go. Cheers, David.
Cheers.
Jets football.
Cheers to the Jets.
Also, Fireball is dangerous, David. I couldn't do straight Fireball. Good for you.
Yeah, I know. I have to be careful. I just love Fireball.
Well, don't fall again. All right, be careful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I kind of got that fear of falling in me a little bit now, so we got to get over all that and be a little more careful.
I love it. David, all the love, man. Have a great weekend, all right?
Yep, you too, buddy. I got my Iron Uji. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
If there was an award for the nicest Asmaniac, it might be David T. Like, I think he's going to go on a serious run in March just because people love how nice of a guy he is. And look, I'm not voting. I'm recusing myself from that. But I would vote for David T over like anyone. He's the man. Love that. Hit the like button for David T. Hit the channel emoji for David T. Jets Johnny just chatted. It's the Patrick Star with the eye. I love it. All right, last chance to get in here. We're almost 2 hours in. Appreciate everyone for their support. Looks like BMAC in the hole has somehow figured out a way to comment here. Purple Belt Mike says, BMAC, as long as you stop going at people, we okay. I won't fully forgive you until we get 10 memberships. That was the deal. If someone gives 10 memberships, we will hear BMAC out. Brandon, any confirmation on Moogie? No. If Moogie is hired, though, I can't wait for Gator's rendition of Moogie, Moogie, Moogie. Rocking everywhere. Moogie, 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 rocking everywhere. Purple Belt Mike crushed it with that one earlier. Snowball, Jake, go to the airport so we get some news. You're probably right about that. Brandon says, today is my birthday. 37 years as a Jet fan. Happy birthday, Brandon. Hey, Bobby, are you out there? Do you want to sing to Brandon? Bobby hasn't called in today. All right, I think we're done here. I think. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, another announcement I want to share. Winter merch drop. It's live. Get a Adidas quarter zip. Asmaniac or Jake Asman Show. Get a long sleeve. Asmaniac or Jake Asman Show logoed. Get a winter hat. It's cold. It's cold as brick. Not old brick, but cold as Brick Johnson out there. All right. All that and more in the merch store, jakeasman.com. Patreon users, use the code I sent you for 20% off. Super chat from Craig Down Under. 14 days till Asmania comes down under. That's right. Hawk is coming to Australia. Purple Belt Mike. Mikey Midnight's a star. I agree. 25 writes in, Moogie, 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 can't you see? All the time the Jets just ruined me. We can do a lot with it. Honestly, I want Brown, but I might change my vote to Moogie now just because of the amount of parody songs we can come up with a guy whose last name is Moogie. But all right, I'm going to end the show because then the Jets will hire a GM and I really won't have anything to do on a Friday night. A reminder, I'm on Sirius tomorrow, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, 4 to 8, ESPN New York Sunday, 4 to 8. So I'm working, baby. The grind don't stop. Maybe the Jets will have a GM by then. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Patreon if you haven't already. You guys are the best. Thank you to everyone who gifted a membership today. I want to highlight Mimosa, Mike D's Nuts. I want to highlight Jeffrey, Bo C, K and D. I hope I'm not missing anyone, but everyone who gifted 180 in the show was ridiculous. So I'm probably adding another you know what? I am adding another big time prize. I already know what it is. And I'll reveal it tomorrow. So in addition to the signed Wilson jersey, signed Klecko jersey, signed Glenn trading card, signed Brees trading card, Super Bowl III ring, I got another big prize, autographed Jets memorabilia I will add tomorrow because we added so many memberships during this show. Thank you to everyone. Have a good Friday night. We'll probably be back in about 10 minutes because that's how this usually goes. Go Jets. And for the love of God, Woody, Chris, Glenn, please, just get it right. Hey, there we go. Light it up, Ricky. Yeah, let's get back to your calls right now. One of our favorites is on the Gustbuster hotline. Ricky NY joins us now. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
Thanks for taking my call, Jake. I just finished smoking all the available weed in the panhandle, so bear with me if I collapse here in front of my personalized flag. Any chance you could send that boxing guy, Gary, to the Jameis Winston town? Maybe Gator can build a special hall for quarterbacks who throw more interceptions than completed passes. Yeah, not a Florida guy, but can't go to Seminoles all the way there. They've got a whole lot of get all of them in there. I don't give a shit. Well, I think I got to relight this thing. Hold on a second. I just got this new blowtorch lighter. Let's try it out. Try it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have backed off that setting a bit. Anyway, Jake, I'll hang up for now and grab the burn kit again. Later, brother.
Oh my God.
Yo, Gator is different, man. That dude is different.